We've said it on Eurogamer already. Pragmata represents Capcom at its weird, experimental best. It's in line with Exoprimal, and Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess as a title that shows the publisher is confident to let its studios run with any ideas they have. Whilst those two may not have been commercial or even critical successes, we think Pragmata has a bigger shot at penetrating through the mainstream thanks to three key things. It's a shooter, its main character is more of an every dad, his name is Hugh Williams for Christ's sake, that's like John Everyman, and it has one of the most exciting genre hybrids we've seen in a long while. In a recent demo at Capcom's offices ahead of Gamescom, the publisher let us loose on a new demo of the game, a slightly beefier version of the Summer Games Fest demo we've seen previously. The main difference took the form of a boss fight against a mechanised walker that stomped all over an area that's also an elevator, standard, that put us in mind of Lost Planet, Vanquish, and I guess Watch Dogs, kind of? It's a really peculiar grab of genres glued together with what seems like a plot that would have to have a bit more structure actually to even be considered paper thin, but that doesn't matter. People aren't going to be picking this one up expecting a Hugo-winning tale of redemption and loss. To be honest, what you get with Pragmata instead is a very video game, strafing around, shooting a boss that looks like something from Metal Gear's cutting room floor, whilst a young girl that's also an android hacks into its systems is peak video game. To be clear, this is a good thing. Everything about the demo is peak video game. Hugh wanders around gruffly muttering about whatever as he solves simple environmental puzzles, exchanging a little bit of mumbly dialogue with Diana, the android. Every now and then the GLaDOS-like security system wakes up some robot goons that you need to kill, and you push on. The mob enemies all have shields, so Diana needs to hack them before you shoot them. It's pretty with this nice, clean space station sci-fi aesthetic, and a great little training ground for you to figure out the third-person shooting-hacking dichotomy before the boss. So, enter the boss. It's here the twin strands of Pragmata's DNA form into a beautiful helix that shows off what the game is looking for. As the walker slams about the platform and you dodge out of the way of missiles and AoE splashes on the floor, you need to use one of your three guns, it looks like there'll be 4 in the final game, to inflict damage. There's a pistol with a relatively low damage output and slow reload time that makes up for its shortcomings by having infinite ammo. A shotgun that has ridiculous DPS but can only hold 6 shells at a time, and a fun little stasis net that inhibits your prey and inflicts some slow release damage. It's a nice trio of arms. Swapping between them to maximise damage whilst minimising threat to yourself is the aim of the game here, and it all ends up feeling a bit like a combat puzzle you solve on the fly as you strafe around the room. It's not exactly Halo, but that's where the Lost Planet reference earlier comes from. Bosses like the Walker have weak points, identified by Diana as you aim down the sights. In the case of this mechanical lump, it was a fuel tank on its back. Once you've got the lay of the land and you've identified where to spend your limited shotgun shells, you pop out a stasis net, circle around the back, and get to work. It was enough for us to let out a horrible little goblin laugh as everything came together, after slowing it down with the net, unloading a full clip of shotty shells into the tank while Diana hacked the machine, immobilising it and spending some of her resources in order to lower its defence. Oh, the way it all mingles together under your fingers just feels natural, like, oh, I've done this before, but of course you haven't, because this whole concept is completely new and kinda batshit. You shoot and aim with your standard trigger setup and then use the face buttons to solve a very easy puzzle and hack an enemy mid-fight. There's the Watch Dogs nod. You can also jump and dodge using the shoulder buttons, making your fingers dance across the whole pad in a glitchy, frantic little dance. It's overwhelming, actually, but in a flustering way that scratches the same part of your brain Vanquish would have done back in 2010. And once you're all fey with the scheme, the desperate dance you do with hacking and shooting feels surprisingly natural. Difficult thing to admit in a video preview, but we really don't think what you see on screen does justice to Pragmata. It's very much the sort of game that you need to feel in your hands in order to really understand. Hopefully Capcom releases a demo for its own sake, because the elevator pitch may be a little too obscure for some. It represents Capcom's confidence though, and hooks onto the same philosophy that Dead Rising did way back in 2006. Take a well-established genre, rip it apart, and put it back together in a sort of wonky but brilliant kind of way. You know, like what Heston Blumenthal would do to a hot dog. There are still some anachronistic game design decisions in Pragmata. Most of the story is told to you via text logs left scattered around the deserted moon base or projected holograms. Yeah, this game really evokes 2006, but that's all mixed in with fresh new ideas and genuinely fascinating combinations of genres. Pragmata is intriguing. Games like this represent Capcom at its best. Experimental, weird, willing to break away from the AAA pack in order to do something left of centre. Bizarre. Maybe even a bit proggy, like an ELO album cover come to life. Let's hope the general public do get a demo for this one, or some sort of try before you buy scenario, because it'll really land what Capcom is trying to do. It's going to be one of those games that feels better in your hands than it does landing on your retinas. And that's not really a problem, unless you work for Capcom's marketing division. But for now, in lieu of a demo, here's 6 minutes of uncut boss fight footage to give you a flavour of the game, and to get us over 8 minutes for the algorithm. Bye!
Are we there yet?
Sure. Alright, we made it. Now where do we find the main power terminal?
Lockdown disengaged. Reconnecting primary power. Energy levels at 30%. 40%. 50%. 60%.
Warning. Unauthorized access detected. Severing primary connection. This is Edith. Unregistered guests are forbidden from this area. Initializing sector guard protocol. Scanning. Targets identified. Neutralizing threats.
Neutralize? Us?
Looks like we're gonna have to fight our way through. Get ready! Any idea what the hell this is?
Never seen it before.
So it's not one of your pot buddies? Then I guess we can just go in blasting. He's a shooting to me. Take this!
Let me try!
Remember to like and subscribe to Eurogamer for more insightful previews, reviews, op-eds, live streams, and all that good stuff.
Now is a great time to score some incredible games through Humble Choice. Live now through to September the 2nd, you can grab Persona 5 Royale, Vanisher's Ghost of New Eden, My Time at Sandrock, and more. Whether you're building your backlog or discovering something new, this is the perfect time to pick up these fan favourites. Plus, every purchase supports a good cause, with this month's featured charity being Donors Choose. Get a curated mix of PC games every month, all for just £11.49 a month.